Welcome to the second edition of the TISE TV Festival of Installation. I'm Kyle Hedin, host of the Floor Academy podcast, owner and lead installer of Illustrious Hardwoods, and guest host for this year's Festival of Installation from the International Surface event. I'll be here each week as we premiere a new installation demonstration. Today's episode is a Tech Zone demo presentation on wood inlays from the National Wood Flooring Association. Watch and gather up the amazing tips and insights from the NWFA trainers. Roll the episode.
Hi everyone, Ben Tata of Tata Hardwoods and regional instructor with the National Wood Flooring Association. Today I'm here in my shop in Kansas City, Missouri, and we're going to talk a little bit about some inlaying that we just did. We have this rolling work table out in our shop, and we decided we wanted to inlay our company logo into it. Created a template to do that, and using guide bushings was able to cut my inlay pieces and the negative space in the table to drop them into. Also, we did some inlaying of some brass bar here recently on a couple of projects, so I wanted to at least briefly mention that. This is 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch brass bar, so to set up and cut a groove for that, we utilize this track system with a little attachment that hooks to our router so that we can run it down the track and cut really nice straight grooves. Got a 1/4 inch spiral cutting bit. Setup is simple. We just measure the distance from our rail to our bit, set it on both ends, and then we're able to cut that groove really quickly and accurately. Quick wanted to mention, when setting depth for any inlay, if I run my bit down to where it touches my workpiece and lock it at that depth, I then take a piece of my inlay material and put that between my depth stop and the turret and lock it in place. I just quickly and accurately set the cutting depth to the exact depth of my material. After we cut that groove, we can then cut our pieces to length. We do so in the field just by using a regular miter saw and blade. I cut a little piece of wood with that same groove plowed in to hold my pieces as I make my cut. As long as I just carefully and slowly pass that saw blade through, it gives me really nice, accurate cuts. For this inlay here, as I mentioned, I created a template because I wanted to be able to replicate this multiple more times throughout our building. And I utilized guide bushings with this template to be able to use the same template to cut both pieces. Guide bushings just allow you to use the edge of this bushing attached to your router base plate to ride along a workpiece, as opposed to a regular router bit which uses a bearing to ride along your workpiece. That allows me to, by changing the size of my bushing, move the same bit further away or closer to my template. That means I can use this same template and move my bit in and out to get two separate pieces that are going to meet right at a perfect line. And that's what we did here. Cut the pieces of our inlay and then to cut the table for those to drop in and get a really nice tight fit. We'll make a couple stops along the way, have a few pictures, and be back here at the end to answer some questions if you think of any. Let's get started. So to get started here, you can see printed off the design for the inlay we're going to do. Went ahead and attached it to our material we're going to use for a template, and did that using some spray adhesive. The next step will be, actually, I'm going to cut everything out that is black right here. I can do so a couple different ways, either with a jigsaw or a scroll saw. I'm probably going to just jigsaw it because I think it'll be faster for this. And I don't have a lot of really tight, intricate curves. I've got a lot of straight lines here, so it'll be fairly easy to do it on a jigsaw, I think. So that's going to be the next step, is dialing in the template to exactly what I want it to be. Here you can see that I went ahead and did some layout on our table here, just as if this was a room. I found the primary center line here and then established a secondary line so that I know that's the center of my table. Printed off the design that we want to create with our inlay here and attached it to our template material using some spray adhesive. The next step will be to cut out everything that's black and thus create my template. I also took the time as I did this and made some corresponding marks for center on my template so that I can quickly and easily realign it with exactly where it needs to be when I'm ready to route into my table. Alright, overall pretty happy with how that came out. Got a few little rough spots here and there in the corners. I'll just come back with either a file or rasp and sort of straighten those out, get them to where I like them. Maybe a little bit of sandpaper, and then it will be ready to use. First, you set your depth, zero out your bit, use a piece of your template.
Why did you enter the flooring competition?
The true reason. I wanted them to step it up.
If you're competitive at all, and I hope you are, the competition is for you.
The installation competition has always been important. It's always been a very big draw at TISE and Surfaces to highlight the incredible talent that is out there in the installation community right now and put a bigger light on the work that they do and the skills and mastery they have.
Back in the day when they used to have the competition, and I was never involved with that. Never had enough confidence in myself. So I make up every excuse that I can not to do something because he didn't have the confidence that you could be as good as the next guy. When in reality, you don't know if you don't try.
You get a great sense of belonging. There's people who understand you, what you're going through, the different challenges. But also you have this great opportunity to network with all these different industry experts, manufacturers. Whether some of these installers, believe it or not, you have influence.
I heard about the installation competition last year. I competed, went to the finals. I didn't win, so I came back to try to win it again. Mainly just testing your skill against people that are supposed to be the best.
I've been in CFI for now 22 years, and to be able to meet other installers that have the same mindset of quality installation is a big plus, and it's a big value to the industry.
There's a need for pride in this industry, especially at the installation level. That competition is the most visible thing we do, and it allows people to shine. It creates pride within the industry so that people have an opportunity to rise to a higher level, to say that I'm better, that I've invested, that I've certified, I've done whatever it takes to be the best at what I do.
Got everything cut out, dropping the last piece of the inlay in. Use your glue of choice. I like to just work adhesive up on the side walls of this as I do it. And I like to put a little bit on the top just to help. Sometimes with thin veneer like this and you're using a water-based glue, it will curl up on you as the bottom of the board swells a little bit. So put a little bit on top, you kind of counteract that and keep it balanced. So there it is. Let that dry and then sand it flush.
From myself and the team at the International Surface event, we thank you for watching today. Don't miss us next week for more installation techniques and information.
Look, Mom. I made that.